Hello everyone, Reza here. In this video, I will show you top 10 examples of Power Apps. I will cover the most common scenarios in which Power Apps can be leveraged. These are apps that I have built from scratch or leveraged the out-of-the-box templates and extended them. I will also showcase all the mediums through which we can access these Power Apps. On the mobile device, tablet device, browser, in Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Search, and a lot more. So let's check it out in action. The first Power App is an inspection Power App. Whether you're in real estate, property management, or insurance, site inspection lets you document, catalog, and reference the inspection that you've made with all kinds of images, location details, site details, and a lot more. Here in the landing screen of the app, I can see all my inspections. I have the home inspection selected. I can look at all the inspection images, the details of the inspection, and the inspection location is plotted on a live map. I can select other inspections that are assigned to me, and I can look at the details of those inspections. For inspections, I can look at all the details related to this inspection, click Edit to make modifications to it, and once complete, I can select Completed, provide my digital signature, and click Submit, which will update the status of the inspection to completed. For completed inspections, we also have the ability to generate an inspection report. If I select the link to generate the PDF report, this will trigger a Power Automate workflow to send me a report of this inspection. Here is the email that I have received for the home inspection. If I select the attached PDF file, I have all the details of that specific inspection, including my digital signature and the pictures that were captured during the inspection. Signing into Power Apps from my tablet device, I have my inspection Power App that I will launch directly from my tablet device. The same Power App experience that was available in the browser is available for me right here on the tablet device. In this case, let's do a live inspection. I will click on the plus icon. I will be inspecting the printer in my office. I'll give my inspection a title, a subtitle, the date of inspection. I'll pick the 8th of Jan. I can enter the description of the inspection, take notes during the inspection, enter the site address, and pick the status of my inspection. So I'm going to set this as new. Now for me to take the pictures of the inspection, I will click on the camera icon on the top right, which will launch the camera on my tablet device. So I'll take a few images of my printer. Once I have my images captured, I will go back to the inspection form and submit my inspection details so I have that recorded in the system. We can see the printer inspection. I can continue the inspection, edit it, make changes to the inspection as required, change the status as required. Let's say I change it to completed. I sign this right in the tablet experience itself and submit. The status now changes to completed, and I have the ability to generate the PDF inspection report. And here is the email that I have received with the inspection report. The next Power App is a timesheet application where you can add time for projects and tasks with a simple few clicks. Currently, I'm looking at my timesheet for the current pay period, which is a 2-week pay period for this scenario. Week starting Sunday, so from Sunday 2nd Jan to Saturday 15th Jan, and I have the 2-week splits right here. If I wanted to enter time, I can click on Add Row, pick an associated category for my time entry. I'll pick Project. This will list out all the projects that are assigned to me. I'll pick Contoso, put my description, and then I can start plugging in the hours for the task during the specific work week. I'll put in some hours here. The moment the hours for a specific date is greater than or equal to 8, we will have a green indicator here because that's the minimum required hours for a specific day. I can add additional time entries, start plugging in my hours, and once I complete my hours, I can click on save so that these details are recorded in the system. This app allows me to look at data for previous weeks if I had any, so I can swap through the different weeks and look at all my timesheet entries. Or I can directly click on current pay period and look at my timesheet entries that I have made for this specific pay cycle. The total amount of hours for this pay cycle is currently at 40. That's the hours I plugged in for the first week. I have to also plug in hours for the second week, so let's do that. Let's say I was on leave during this time period. I can start plugging in my hours once again. On the top, the user can also see their current leave balance. I have 40 hours of paid time off, so I'm able to plug in those 40 hours here. And since now I have plugged in 80 hours for this pay period, I get an additional option here which allows me to submit my timesheet entry for this pay period. Once I click on submit, my timesheet would be locked, and this is gone now for approval to my manager. In Microsoft 365 search, if I search for timesheet, my PowerApps has been made available as a searchable item right here on the top. I even have the ability to open my app directly inside the Microsoft search experience. And this is a fully usable PowerApp experience right here. For my current pay period, since I already submitted, the timesheet is locked. Let's go to the previous pay period and try and add some data. And save. The same timesheet app experience has been deployed inside of a Microsoft Teams experience, and the app is available as a tab in a channel in Microsoft Teams. The next Power App is an expense reporting Power App with AI features baked in. Expense reporting allows us to track our expense reports from submission to approval. You can tally your line items as individual expenses accrue and submit for approval when ready. On the landing screen of this app, I can see a list of all my expenses that have been submitted in the system. I can filter these expenses based on the different statuses. I can see the number of expenses that are in a specific status. I can even filter or sort my expenses. I have logged in to my Power App on my mobile device. Right here on the top in my favorite section, I have the expenses app that I had added as a favorite. I will launch the app right here on my mobile device. It's the same expense reporting app. I'm going to try and create an expense live. Can give my expense a name, give a start date for the expense, end date, select a cost center. In this case, I'll select Contoso, enter some commands, and click Create to create the expense. Now, for an expense, a user can add multiple line items, and each of those line items would require the user to attach receipts. So let's create a line item. Here we have an AI component baked in directly in our line item form. That component is that receipt component. If I select receipt, it will allow me to pick an image from my picture library, or since I am on my mobile device, I can launch the camera control on my mobile device. I'm going to capture the image of a sample receipt. I'll take the picture and click on Use Photo. It attaches that receipt to the line item, and right away AI kicks in and it will capture data points directly from that captured image. It has the name of the merchant there, the total amount, and the transaction date. I can pick the category of the expense, give a description, and save this. We have the line item related to our expense. Let's add another line item. Once again, I'll click on Receipt and take a photo. I'll take a picture live, say Use Photo. AI will read all the details from the captured receipt. I'll pick a category enter a description, and click Save. Now we have both those line items related to the expense, and we can see the total dollar amount of the expense, which is adding up based on all the receipts that were attached. Once I'm ready for submitting this for approval, I can click on Submit. The status of the expense now changes to pending. If I select the expense, I can look at all the details that I had submitted. I even have my approver, which in this case is Reza for the cost center Contoso. I can see my line items and click on the attachment link to see the receipt that were attached. Playing the role of the approver, Reza in this case, I receive an email notification from Power Automate regarding the approval process. I have the link here directly to that submitted expense. If I select this, it will launch the Power App and deep link straight into that expense item. I can see all the details, look at the expenses, look at the receipts that were attached, and right from the email itself, I can take the approval decision. I can enter my commands and submit my approval response. Once the approval response is logged, the requester gets an email, which in this case is Reza again. It states that the expense item has been approved. Here is the name of the approver and the comments that the approver put in. If we head back to my Power App, I can see the status of the project meeting expense item is now approved. If I select it, I can look at all the details, including the comments that the approver put in. The next Power App is a leave request app. In SharePoint, under my HR site, I have a link to the leave request Power App. This is a SharePoint page which has the Power App added as a web part. The leave request app allows the user to submit vacation requests and send them for manager and HR approvals. You can select date ranges, add notes, and manage your time off. This is a role-based Power App. I'm playing the role of both the employee and the approver, so I get both of these options on the landing screen. Let's log in as an employee. It will list out all my leave requests. I can see all the details of my leave request, including the commands history related to the approval process. I can filter my leaves based on the different statuses. Let's create a new leave request on the fly. I'm going to request for some time off. Leave type vacation from the 17th of Jan to the 18th of Jan. Right on the top, I can see my current leave balances. I will add the detail and click Submit. This will log my leave request in the system. And back to my home screen, I can see my time off leave request that is currently under manager approval. My manager is being picked directly from Active Directory. Sarah is playing the role of my manager. And after the manager, the approval process will head over to the HR manager, and Reza is playing the role of the HR manager as well. Here's the approval email that Sarah, my manager, receives. Sarah can click on the link to see the details of the request, and then Sarah can take a decision right here. In this case, I'll approve this as the manager and click Submit. The moment Sarah's decision is logged, the status for my time off request now changes to pending HR approval. There's a status indicator here that shows that Sarah has approved this. The comments history has all the approval details recorded. Now the next approval action is for the HR manager, which in this case is me. So I'll log back into this Power App as an approver. I have my own approval dashboard right here within Power Apps. Here is the time off request that I have received. I can see all the details of that request, including the previous approvals, and I can take the decision right here of approve or reject. Let's go ahead and approve this. This will open up the approval action directly in the Power Automate approval dashboard. Plug in the approval commands and confirm. Now logging in back as the employee, we can see that the time off request status is now changed to approve. The next Power App is a desk reservation or desk booking app for offices. Colleagues book desks with this simple app. Every time a desk is booked, the office manager gets notified about it. This Power App lives inside a Power BI report. And inside the Power BI report, we have a Visio visual, which has the diagram of the office layout, which includes the desks that the user can reserve. I can zoom in to this visual, look at the different desks that are available. These desks are color-coded based on the specific location they are in. So let's say I would like to reserve this specific desk. I'll go ahead and select this desk. The moment I make this selection inside the Visio diagram in Power BI, because this Power App is connected to Power BI, it is contextually aware of the filters or selections that I make in Power BI. The moment I selected this desk, Power App now changes the screen to the desk reservation form, and the only available desk that it provides for me to select is desk 37, since that's the desk that I selected to reserve. I can select a date at which I would like to reserve that desk on and click submit, and this will go ahead and reserve that desk. On the home screen of this app, I can see a list of all the reservations that I have made. I can even go ahead and cancel the reservation as required. As I'm making these changes inside of the Power App, we can see the visuals inside Power BI are being refreshed live. I reserved desk 37. Now the most reserved desks visual here shows that there are 2 desks that are currently reserved, 37 and 46. I can also send a report of all the desks that I have reserved. If I select on this button, it will go ahead and trigger Power Automate to send me a report of the reserved desks. And here is the email that I have received. These are the 2 desks that are reserved by me, and these are the dates at which I have reserved these desks. Now I can also directly reserve a desk by selecting a specific date and then clicking on the name of that specific desk. Notice desk 37 was already reserved for this date, so it is grayed out. I can pick a different desk and go ahead and reserve that. As I make that reservation, I am updating this in my data source, which is connected in Power BI. So live, we can see the visuals in Power BI changing on the fly. The next Power App is an inventory tracking app. Here I can view all my inventory items. The sample example for inventory items is related to fitness items. As the storage facility manager, I can look at all the containers that are available in my storage facility. I can look at how many spaces are available. The colors here that are defined for each container, green, orange, or red, is related to the amount of storage space available. Red indicating low storage space, orange meaning it's fast filling, green means there are ample spaces available. So as the storage manager, I can clearly visualize the storage facility space right here. So let's say I received an incoming shipment of 50 items. Here, through the Visio diagram itself, I can see that space D has 50 spaces available. I can go right here and select the container for space D. If I select this space is currently empty. So I will add my incoming shipment items. Let's say I received 20 fitness benches. I can plug in my notes and click submit. This will update the inventory on the fly for that specific space. I can update this if required, or I can add a different inventory item here. Let's say I've received 30 treadmills. I'll click submit. The color has turned red since there are no more spaces available. I can see the storage facility Visio updated on the fly. If we look at space D, the color has now changed to red since there are no more spaces available. If I want to update the inventory items for any specific space, all I have to do is select that space. So let's say space E. And in this case, let's say all the inventory items in space E are being moved out. So I can straight away go and update that right here. I'll update this to 0. Update this item as well to 0. Submit. And space E now has all the space available, so it's gone to green. And back to the home screen, we can see that space E has turned the color to green. The next Power App is a help desk or a service desk app. Provides a user-friendly experience to connect end users with support professionals, track open tickets, review details, and a lot more. Once again, in SharePoint, in this case in the IT site, I have a link called Help Desk. Here I have my Help Desk Power App as a web part. It is contextually aware of the logged in user. It's a role-based app. I'm playing the role of the admin, so I can see all the tickets in the system. I can filter the tickets based on a specific status. I can click on my tickets to see the tickets that were created by me. I can see the list of tickets that were assigned to me. I can look at tickets that are assigned to me and are overdue. I can change the overdue filter. Let's pick a ticket that's assigned to me and in pending status. I can edit this ticket. I can enter my comments if I worked on this specific computer issue. And I can change the status of this to closed, and I can save. The status of that ticket is changed on the fly, and the requester will be notified about the status update. You can also go ahead and create a ticket in the system. Pick a priority for the ticket. Since I'm playing the role of the admin as well, I can define the status. I'll click save. If I look at all my tickets in pending status, here's my new ticket that I created. It gets assigned a unique ticket number. This Power App has been built specifically keeping responsive design in mind. Here is the Power App in my browser experience. Observe, as I reduce the width of this specific app, all the elements or controls in this app will be responsive in nature. If I was running this app on my tablet device, it will automatically reposition the controls based on the real estate available there. And if this app was opened on a mobile device, this is what the user experience would look like. You can see how the controls are changing their dimensions, how specific controls are completely changing their patterns as well. For example, the header here only shows the icon since there's not enough real estate available. But as there is more real estate, the icons and the name associated with the specific tab gets displayed. The next app is a Shoutout Power App. This fun app encourages co-workers to share job-related compliments, including automated email notifications sent to the recipient's manager. The landing screen is a splash screen that walks the user through the different actions and steps they can take in this specific Power App. It shows an activity of all the shoutouts that have been sent throughout the organization. We can look at the details of the shoutout. If there was a photo attached to the shoutout, we can see that in action as well. I can see all the shoutouts that were sent to me or shoutouts that were sent from me. So let's send a shoutout to Sarah. The top contacts are being fetched using the Microsoft Graph API, which keeps track of all the users I frequently work with in my organization. I'll pick Sarah and click next. I can pick the shoutout type. I'll pick extra mile, click next. I can give a personal message. This is a rich text field. I can go ahead and upload a picture as well. I'm running this inside of Microsoft Teams on the browser. If I was running this on my mobile device, it will allow me to open the camera and take a picture live as well. In this case, I've picked an image from my desktop. I'll click next. Here is the shoutout that's going to be sent to Sarah. I'll click send, and this will now send a notification to Sarah. The activity gets updated. Here is the latest shoutout that I sent to Sarah. Here is the email that Sarah has received. The name of the person who sent the shoutout is right here and the type of the shoutout. Sarah can click on the link to open the Shoutouts app. And the attachment is the photo that I attached to the shoutout. The next Power App is a meeting notes app. It's an all-in-one meeting notes capturing tool. You can view a list of all your meetings, view the meeting details, capture notes, take pictures, upload pictures, add files, assign tasks in Planner, send out the meeting notes in a nicely formatted email, or send it directly to OneNote. The landing screen shows me a list of all my meetings for today. Currently, I have a meeting that is running. I can see who the organizer of the meeting is, and this meeting is a Teams meeting. I can even go ahead and schedule a meeting right here on the fly if required. So with my current meeting ongoing, I'll click Start Meeting. I can see who the attendees are. I can send an email to the attendee right here from this app itself. We can see live the amount of time that's remaining in this meeting. I can capture notes as we go along in the meeting. I can assign tasks right here on the fly. So I'll assign this task to Sarah, and this task is due by the 20th. I'll save the task. I can keep adding additional tasks. I can draw sketches, save them. I can open the camera control and take an image live. I can upload images. I can attach files. I can record audio. I can go to attachments to see all the attachments that have been captured, the photos, the sketches. And once I'm ready to send the notes, I can click on Finish. I can send out the meeting notes as an email to all the attendees of the meeting right away from this app itself. If there are any external attendees and you want to send the notes only to your users internal to your organization, if I select internal only, it will remove the external users. I can even send it to myself if required. I can send it to my OneNote. I can pick my notebook, my section, add additional sections as required. And since I had a task created, I can also export it to Planner. I can select all the plans that I have access to. I can select the bucket and click OK. And once I'm ready, I can click on Export. This will now go ahead and export all the meeting notes that were captured in this app. Sarah was one of the attendees of the meeting. Here is the meeting notes email that goes out to Sarah. We can see the title of the meeting, the date and time at which the meeting was conducted. All the attachments, images, files, the drawings are right here. Here are the details of the meeting, the notes that were captured, the tasks that were assigned that links directly to Planner. The next Power App is a quiz-based app. The quiz here is a Power Platform-based quiz. The quiz app can be leveraged for any topic. As the logged in user, I can start the quiz. So here's the list of 15 questions that I have to answer in order to win the champion prize. Let's pick question number 1. I have 30 seconds to answer this. If I need help, I can click on help and pick any of these options. Let's take 50-50. Here are my two options now. I'll pick my answer, lock my answer, and it will record that. The user can answer all the questions in the quiz. I'll purposely give a wrong answer here. Once I complete the quiz ends and it will record the score or the points that I earned. It also sends a certificate once the user completes the quiz. That is, the user completes all the 15 questions. Now, another place where Power Apps can be leveraged is inside of Microsoft Teams meetings. So here I have a meeting in Teams. If I edit this meeting, right here on the top, I have the option to add a tab. Any Power Apps that are optimized for Teams meetings would be made available. I'll select a couple of them. One of them is my Power Quiz app. So here's my app in action. I will add another one, which is my Meeting Task Capture app. This app allows me to capture tasks during a meeting, and these captured tasks go directly to Planner. Now, since I have attached these apps to my meeting, as a user, if I was to join this meeting, I and all the attendees of the meeting who have access to those apps, we can directly go and select the specific Power Apps, and this app will be launched directly in the side panel experience of my Microsoft Teams meeting. So I can play the quiz experience, which is my app, right here in line. I can also go ahead and start presenting this on the main experience of the Teams meeting. And here is my Meeting Task Capture app in action in the side panel. And finally, a bonus, we can also leverage Power Apps to customize SharePoint list forms and library form experiences. Here, I have a content scheduler list. If I select an item and head over to the edit form experience, this is the SharePoint list form that has been customized leveraging PowerApps. If I would like to schedule some new content, click on New. I have my PowerApp form experience lighted up right here. The same thing works for a document library experience as well. If I click on the Edit Properties, here is my PowerApp customized SharePoint library form experience in action. And the beauty of PowerApps is you're not tied to a single data source. Although my data source here is SharePoint, I can even bring in data from other data sources. This is a contract management library. I have the properties of my document here. I have the address associated with the customer for which I have the contract. It's mapped on a live map. I can even preview the document. And additionally, I can have a checklist that I create related to this contract. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for watching.